Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes human being American and YouTuber Ronin. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Live from Sparkwood and 21. This series chronicles the 1990s cult classic television series Twin Peaks, which ran for 2 seasons on ABC. Its prequel film, Fire Walk with Me. Its 25 years later sequel series, The Return, which ran on Showtime in 2017, and the films of David Lynch. I want to first say hello to everyone currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. Host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. Jamie Lynn Simons in the house. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, The Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. Connie Cleary dropping her member chat. Member for 26 months. Thank you, Connie. All right. Scrolling down, channel member JPRPH1. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Enigma Severus. My co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast. All right. Joining me this evening on this Odyssey, the super fans. Last call, Troy Shelly.
I feel like when you talk about the list of things we talk about here, I feel like the list is incomplete. We also talk about books. We also talk about adjacent media. In the near future, we might be talking about a not directly related, but very inspired by a video game. Mm-hmm. So we talk about all things Twin Peaks, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you want to say hello to me and my monkey? Welcome.
Me and my monkey. Hope you're doing well tonight.
Also joining us, Troy's better half. Natters Network.
Good evening.
She looks like a warm cup, warm, comforting cup of something there.
Right on. And the president of the Flappy for President fan club, Aged Boomer.
It was Flappy's greatest regret that he was not alive to become a member of the Rat Pack. It was his dream.
I share that feeling with him. Absolutely. I absolutely share that.
I mean, Flappy, Peter Lawford, who would you rather have?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Imagine him in the tux, man. Come on.
Hey, goes without saying.
And he won't ditch the dirt with the rest of the birds.
All right. So this is the next episode of Twin Peaks entitled Demons, picking up directly where we left off from last week's cliffhanger. Whereas we have the whole attempt at being Nancy Drew once again, this time by Donna, and it went about as well as things went with Audrey. And yes,
I would argue it went worse.
In many ways, yeah.
Because Audrey is doing okay for a bit.
For a bit, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, okay. I think where we're at right now, you could argue that Audrey. I mean, where she ended up. I mean, she ended up with a needle in her arm, and that, and they were literally about to end her. was saved. She was rescued at the very last minute. Knowing the results of what Donna's doing, honestly, I can honestly say Donna's is worse, because someone does end up dead because of her.
Mm.
You know,
whereas you could say that Audrey's heart was in the right place. She went in with the intention of doing good, of exposing this malfeasance. Whereas Donna is, I don't believe. Well, I mean, it would be safe to say that they are both not thinking of the consequences.
But I would argue that you're also being a little generous to Audrey, because if we're really honest, she is doing it as much thrill seeking as Donna is, but she's got the ulterior motive that she is trying to win the attention of Agent Cooper. So all around, it's pretty. She's not exactly doing it for ulterior motives. She's professing that it's for a good cause, and she knows that doing something good, looks good on her. I think that she's on the right path. She's making better choices for what she recognizes as better reasons, but she's still not truly being altruistic.
Okay, I'll maybe be a little clear and put it this way. She thinks she's doing the right thing.
Okay, I think she's lying to herself, but you're right. I do believe that's true. Good point.
Yeah. And speaking of Audrey, she was, as we've said, kind of saved at the last minute there by Cooper and Truman and Hawk as well, who shows up to save the day.
Actually, Hawk ends up saving the other guys. I mean,
yes,
he basically saved the whole day.
He does. And
good thing you guys can't keep a secret, which has got to be a real kick in the teeth to Cooper. Although the upside is you just saved our lives.
Yeah. So we are now minus a few of the bad guys. We have Emery Battis, who is no more, as well as Blackie, both at the hands of Jean Renault, who has escaped. And Hawk takes out one of the guards, saving the others. So, but Jean Renault is still out there, and he still very much wants his revenge. So, because he's kind of blaming Cooper for everything, as he says later, you show up and everything goes wrong.
Well, everything goes wrong for the bad guys, though. See,
for the bad guys, yeah. So
and something else that I want to point out that is very easily overlooked, unless you're really doing a deep dive on Cooper and his background and his character. We have the whole situation with Wyndham Earle's wife. I forget what's her name. Caroline, right? The whole thing with Caroline is a momentous point in his life that leads him to become this kind of a crusader. I failed in the past. I will not fail again. That's why he's so desperate to solve this this Laura Palmer case. Why he's going to make some decisions in season 3 that may not be so wise in the interest of literally changing history to try to save Laura Palmer. And later on, he's also going to fail to save Annie. And so this is the one bright spot. This time he saved the damsel in distress. He's not always going to be able to do that. Audrey's going to still get herself into trouble that he won't be there to rescue her In fact, his doppelganger does the exact opposite. But for this moment, we have a victory for Dale Cooper. A flap pack. I like that.
All right. Well, unless there's any more preamble, I say let's go ahead and get this episode started.
Yep.
All right. Should I count us down?
Go for it.
All right. Please join us over in Cosme. I do see that Nate is over there. Thank you, Nate. In case you didn't say hello earlier. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
There we go. There's Flappy. It's the first thing you see is Flappy every time.
Well, yeah, he did that. He did that over and over again, though. That was a unique
Yeah.
for each episode.
Yes, it was. You'll notice, though, by the end of season 2, his eyes were starting to look a bit baggy, you know.
Yeah, well,
Just,
frankly, David Lynch was a taskmaster. He had to do it exactly the same every time, and he was a little off. He'd scream at him, and he had to do it again. It's worse than Kubrick, I'm telling you.
He's like, can't you just record it and, play the recording? No.
It's not what we do here. That's what he said.
I like Enigma Severus in the chat. Jamie Lynn, hello. If in fact that is your real name, because I'm sure Enigma Severus is your real name. Okay, this is interesting. In the chat, Lee Smith said, "Hi, I know it's off topic, but what do you think of the idea that the Fremen and Senorita Dido, the fireman and Senorita Dido, or Dido, I believe, are actually Cooper and Laura, an ancient Cooper, still trying to change the past?" That's not at all off topic. That is absolutely a Twin Peaks based comment. We are on our second time through. We're on our second time through, so we are definitely entertaining conversation on all aspects of Twin Peaks. And I had never considered that the fireman and Dale could be one and the same. But no, I don't think Dido would be Laura. If anything, in that analogy, I would think if you have Cooper as the fireman, then it would be Diane who would be Dido. Wait a minute. Let me think some more about that. Man, that is a great one. I'm going to be chewing on that one for a while. We are on Demons. So they've just brought Audrey back from One-Eyed Jacks. And click on that link at the top of the chat. You can watch along with us. Let's see.
Mm.
I mean, she literally did. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Enigma. I'm going to forward that to Netter because she's actually on Facebook. Yeah, not when you look at his rap sheet. Okay, I'm missing something in the chat. Enigma, boxing movie? I'm kind of missing what you're talking about there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. He's talking about a movie from the early '90s called Gladiator that James Marshall was in with Cuba Gooding Jr., where they play kind of up and coming boxers. Yeah, it was independent.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It was around the same time.
I mean, James Marshall was also one of the two defendants in
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men, right?
Yeah, he's in that as well. And he's also in this like kind of insane B movie called The Shaft with Naomi Watts, which is like the serial killer elevator.
What's the name of the movie?
The Shaft. That's the title. I saw it under.
Yes, that's the U.S. title. The
Yeah.
international title is Down. It's on Tubi. Interestingly, he was in a movie in 1983 called The Lift. Also on Tubi.
He's such a bad actor.
Well, intentionally so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Take your hands off me. Absolutely. Okay. Take your hands off. And hello to Real Wade Nation. Meanwhile,
Boy, where do you think they got that chair from? A Goodwill?
Possibly, but we actually had one of those for the Queen in the whole Victorian thing we did. Ian Abercrombie.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if you have Cooper over later.
This is too true, isn't it?
It really is.
Yes,
yeah.
it's why my dad had to fire his hospice care.
Oh my god. They could have had him out of their lives.
Yeah.
But they got greedy.
Here she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he kind of does because he ran in there.
Just, yeah.
Have they ever explained how he supposedly lost his hearing?
If they did, I don't recall.
Yeah.
What about me? From out of the shadows, she walks like a dream. Sorry.
And now it's dark.
On the dark side, I panicked. Okay.
Yeah, you were so worried. Yep, she's keyed in. So that was very telling. She looks to Cooper and she's realizing both that everything is her father is saying is an act because he's being observed. And she's looking to see what his reaction is, and he's not giving any.
Yeah. Oh, poopy.
She's so disgusted with him.
Yeah.
As she should be. Yeah.
She certainly is.
Crazy train.
Yeah. The difference, Enigma, is nothing he was saying was genuine. He wasn't being creepy towards his daughter to be creepy. He was pretending to be a caring father, and that comes off as creepy. Oh!
Man down.
Look at his face. He's like, oh!
Oh.
Oh, she's scary.
Yes, that's what he's thinking too.
I don't know. Oh.
The other can of worms.
Yeah. She likes to say that, right?
Oh, that would have been
Yep.
so much fun.
Yup.
Sadly, it doesn't go that way. Okay.
Yeah, no, not credits yet.
No.
See, it's lines like that lead you to believe that she had the weirding way too.
Hmm.
Like the other women in her family. Yeah. That's not exactly a great path either.
I prefer to think of it as fighting evil in another dimension.
Well, yeah. Enigma says, I would argue James lusted after Laura and wanted it to be love, and he seemed to have a more stable understanding of relationships with this one.
Compared to everybody else on the show.
Well, if you are well, I can't speak for the women in the audience. I'm sure it's similar but different. But growing up as a man and literally being the age that these characters were supposed to be, I literally would have been in their graduating class. I know exactly what it's like going through being a teenager, being like constant hormones, also being bombarded with romantic ideals that you can't really honestly conceptualize because you don't have the maturity. So I think it's unfair to say it was lust. Sure, it was in the truest sense, but in his immaturity and relative purity, he didn't know any better, and it was as much love as he was capable of. He is a pretty good-hearted kid. So he's going to take that lust and channel it in the most positive and appropriate way possible.
Look at that. Blackmail.
Yep.
Didn't he just get $5 million?
Probably.
It just so happens I've got a suitcase full of money right here. It's never been used.
Which I just keep around for situations like this. Too bad he doesn't like raise his pinky to his mouth. $5 million.
Wait, what is she giving him for the $5 million?
The key?
No.
No, she gave him some papers. What's
Oh, the
over
contract
papers?
Pete signed, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who has taken the key?
Problem is, he just handed her a check. He can stop payment on that check.
No, it's not his check,
Yeah.
though.
his check, and so he.
Oh, if it's a cashier's check, good point.
It was the one that, what's her name? Well, that the Japanese man, mysterious
Right,
Japanese man
right.
gave him. So tough, Bobby. Those donuts on the table?
I think so. If she knocks him
That's
off.
your takeaway?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? The heart wants what the heart
Is
wants.
that Jack Daniels? Yep. Actually, that box might have been chicken wings. It said hot box, and it could have been hot box chicken,
Okay.
which is based out of Anaheim.
Gordon. Jesus.
True.
I don't know. Why chess? Because Pokemon wasn't a thing back then.
Right.
Oh, he was one of those kind of lawyers.
Yes. And that does show you how sharp he was, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Who's
There's a
Ezra?
lot
Why
of
does he have
I
a
love
ring?
you, don't touch me in this episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Why are we being introduced to this man suddenly, now, out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he tried to kick me. Can I shoot him off of a motorcycle?
My
sorry.
China doll. I can't because that's not who I am.
Yeah, she just got
Never
back.
was. The fact that Lee just left that smoothly says he knows that she's going to do what he said she needs to do. He doesn't have to micromanage.
Meanwhile, about that.
Yeah, see, it was a cashier's check.
Yeah. That's an interesting choice of word.
Oh man.
To which I would say, "Oh, so you're going to die?" No, I take that
my
back. I'm
word.
sorry.
Leland. Please stop.
Jiminy Christmas. I just have to go into the next room and kill my attorney.
I mean, right now he's not doing a bad job from the perspective of the audience. It's just part of the entertainment. Mr. Rogers, everybody. Yes, the king and I. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Who doesn't like
Yeah.
Topol, you horrible, horrible person?
What was your first clue?
He just tries to be hospitable.
Yeah, I mean, he is trying to be nice.
That looks almost like Starving Marvin.
It does present like a possession.
Oh, poopy.
Literally possession, yeah.
Mm.
And how did he get Luke's lightsaber away?
Yeah.
The homecoming queen's got a gun.
With my knees?
Oh, that's incredibly creepy when you think about who his host is.
Yeah.
Between two worlds. Fire walk with me. And
Oh boy.
I love the fourth wall break on that. That's creepy.
Surrounded by cheese?
Well, he made a point. Was this what Leland talked about?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, what a way to end. What are you doing to us?
Sorry,
I know. I know. And Enigma's in the chat. No! No! How could you? How could you? Well, keep in mind, Enigma, there's only so many episodes, and we're going to be through them way too soon. It's interesting because we're well into the second season, and we're just now hitting some of the points from the dream that was filmed specifically for the European release, the so-called closed ending. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Unless I missed it, he doesn't mention the tattoo and why he removed the arm, did he?
He just said, I removed the arm, but stay close to this vessel.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about there being a mark or a tattoo on the arm, and that's why he removed it.
Well, when he is himself, when he's Gerard, he lost the arm in a car accident, he claims, if I remember correct, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so when he's, I guess, Doppel-Phil.
Right.
And he says that he took the arm off. Is it possible
that he caused
that
the
accident wasn't so much an accident?
Yeah. Let me also posit another scenario. What constitutes reality is somewhat mutable. It depends on perspective. Remember, we're talking about two entities on two different sides of a reality barrier, right? So the spirit form is undergoing a cleaving of his form, in the spiritual world, while it plays out differently in the real world, right? There's a physical, logical, way things play out, and which one causes the other, who knows, right? Spooky communication at a distance, right, is what Einstein referred to entangled particles. They could be separated by light years, but somehow instantaneously they respond to each other. And I think that's what the suggestion is of this kind of connection between a lodge denizen and his host. There is, I think the best way I could illustrate what I'm trying to communicate is how, and I'm going to super simplify it, and it might be a little bit of a gross analogy, but if you've ever had a dream, right, and you dream about having to go to the bathroom, and every bathroom you go into is either flooded or broken or has no doors, and there's people all around, there's always some strange, bizarre reason why you can't go to the bathroom. And then in reality, you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, I really got to pee. And you get up and you go to the bathroom. But that's how this reality plays out in your dream. Well, the reality versus dream world is very, very much what the lodge versus the so-called real world are. But which one actually is the real world and which one is the dream? We will run into that a bunch of times when we get to, when you look back, it starts with Philip Jeffries, we live inside a dream. And that comes back again in the third season. But who is the dreamer, right? And what is the dream and what is reality, right? One could argue that Twin Peaks itself is the dream and we are the dreamers, keeping it alive and still talking about it. If that's the case, then Twin Peaks isn't reality, it's the dream. But then does that mean that the black and white lodges are a dream within a dream? Right? which I think was something else that that David Lynch was kind of playing around with when he created, although there wasn't a reference to it in tonight's episode, the invitation to love, drama, daytime drama within Twin Peaks, which in and of itself was a daytime drama, or at least a prime time drama. He's going for those levels of dream, levels of reality, which again all ties back to his transcendental meditation, his spirituality, and so forth. So there you go. That's my take. If that's too deep, I'm sorry, but we are on our second time through, and this is the kind of conversation we're supposed to be addressing at this point.
No Andy this episode.
No.
Well, true, and by the same token, no. I almost said Kimmy. No.
Lucy.
Lucy, yes. I'm sorry that the line does blur when you get to know these people personally. It's like
She could have been named Kimmy, and it wouldn't have sounded that weird, actually.
no, exactly right. But yeah. Anyway,
A lot of Ben Horn this episode.
yeah, and very easy to if you had any respect for him, it was very easy to lose a lot of respect for him. But I do also feel like, to some degree, this is us getting a baseline, because he can only go up from here, right? And he is about to go through a major crisis of conscience. That's going to result in his own fugue state, very similar to what we've seen Leland go through. The difference being, when Leland comes out the other side, there's no hope, there's no happy ending. Whereas on the other side of Ben's fugue state, there is a rebirth and there is a redemption, or at least a fight for redemption. I think his redemption is more or less a lifetime struggle.
Well,
but
same for us all, though, right?
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it would be unfair, and I would say wrong, to say, well, yes, but I'm not as sinful a man as he is. I mean, that guy is just despicable. All he cares about is money, and he didn't even really care about his daughter. I'm sorry, but most spiritual paradigms say that whatever your level of lack of perfection, doesn't matter. Either you're perfect or you're not. Mm-hmm. And none of us are. So don't look down on someone because you perceive yourself to be better than them.
Especially someone who's trying to reform.
Exactly. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Exactly right. Because at least someone, what is it? The sinner who knows he's a sinner, at least is hopeful and is at least working on himself. The sinner who doesn't perceive himself a sinner isn't even trying, because they don't see the need.
I have to say, Donna, now speaking of which, I feel Donna is someone who perceives herself as doing no wrong and does do wrong. Do you understand? I'm sorry. She caused that mess in that guy's apartment. The guy, I mean, beyond anything, he was go ahead.
But at the same time, I wouldn't say she was evil. I would say she is incredibly reckless, incredibly foolish, and I'd like to be able to give her the benefit of the doubt and say naive, but I think that I think foolish is what really covers it. And if anything, I think you see James kind of making a little more sense and saying, okay, this needs to stop. You should really, not have done that. It was wrong what you did, and we need to, go to the police with this, which she, thankfully she finally does. But the consequences of what she's done haven't yet played out. And, we look at the characters that are more or less humorous in this show. Andy, Lucy, even Dick Tremaine, right? But honestly, even those characters aren't as dumb as Donna. Really, Donna is a whole bag of retarded hammers.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. She's not been impressing me so far in recent weeks.
I think what's even worse is after you look at her in the prequel movie in Fire Walk with Me. She's keyed into how bad these things are. Yep. We didn't realize that when we first watched the series through until we had the opportunity to see that movie. Which, keep in mind, the movie didn't come out until after season 2, right? So we're all of this that we're seeing originally through, we hadn't seen Fire Walk with Me, and we assumed that she didn't know anything about Laura's past, and despite the fact that she said I knew more than Laura even realized, you got to take her to word because that does tend to bear out. Then you read, and there's that incident she talks about that she tells Moles about. I'm forgetting his name in the show, and Harold. Harold. Thank you. That comes directly from Laura's Secret Diary, which again, we were able to read in between seasons 1 and 2. You see a lot of the things that Laura and Donna did together. And then you see Fire Walk with Me, and you see what happened, just days before Laura dies. And you're like, she knew way more than she's at all letting on. She, there, but for the grace of God would have gone Donna. She was about to start down a very similar path to Laura for no good reason. She didn't have a possessed father that was abusing her and then ultimately killing her,
Yeah, I mean, she comes from a relatively stable household.
Exactly.
So, it's like, yes. I mean, the worst thing is that the mom was in the wheelchair, but they still have each other. They've gone through that. I mean, she's got sisters. I mean, she should be looking out for her sister instead of running off and doing all this nonsense.
And her father kind of pretty much says that season 1.
Yeah.
In the nicest, most caring way, But yeah. So that's where we're at with these characters. And I do like going through this with the whole knowing what we know now kind of thing, because we know where these characters end up, and we could be a little bit judgmental, and we could be a little bit proud of where we know some of these characters are going to go.
In your defense, in defense of what you're saying, I remember when I watched this the first time around, I wasn't thinking about what's his name, the guy who was the recluse,
Harold.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about his well-being. I was thinking, what's in that diary? We got to get that diary. We got to find out who killed Laura Palmer. So I too wasn't thinking of his well-being when I first watched this. So,
and understandably so.
Yeah.
True enough. But you have to think about, would you have done it the way Donna did?
Well, the way Donna did was kind of childish. I mean, granted,
incredibly childish. I think the the average person who had truly noble intentions that found out about Laura's secret diary would have done probably two things. Would have talked to Harold in a very different way and said, look, Harold, the fact is you are concealing evidence. I understand that you are doing this to protect Laura and her secrets. Laura's gone. It does her no good to share, to hold on to her secrets. If anything, sharing those secrets could help other people, so that they don't end up the way Laura did.
And unfortunately, people do end up the way Laura did.
Someone's going to, at least
pretty soon.
One,
yes.
Actually, more than one person is, and there is that way that you could talk to him if you understand his motivations and you have compassion. That's not where Donna is coming from. The other thing that you'd need to say to him is, but if I can't get you to see what's right and what needs to be done here, then I have to do what's right and what's morally and I'm legally obligated to do, and that's go talk to the police.
Well, yeah, there's that.
And I think it would be better if you turned it over to the police. Now, I understand you've got this situation. You don't feel that you can leave your place. Let me talk to the police and bring them to you.
I bet if Agent Cooper had talked to him, he would have convinced him to hand over the diary.
I think so too.
Yes.
But this is what happens when you go off on your own.
Yeah.
For want of advice, nations fall.
Yeah.
Right? Many advisors assure victory. And that's the exact opposite of what Donna is doing. She's going off on her own. There's a way that seems right to a man, right?
Yeah.
But pride goeth before a fall, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And you assume the fall is going to be hers, when the reality is it's the collateral damage that she needed to consider. I'm sorry, you can't justify, well, I was trying to help, when you get somebody else killed, right? Congratulations, you're trying to solve your friend's murder by causing someone else to be extinguished, and because it takes so long for this evidence to come to life, there's some other people that might have been saved that aren't going to be. Yep. I'm talking about Maddie, of course.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
I mean, I don't know why I'm dancing around. Spoilers, we did say up front, we're now through it all at least once, so we're going with the assumption that there are no spoilers. We're going through knowing what we know now. But yeah. All right. That's all I got to say. That's all I noticed. I'm doing what I always do. I'm dominating the conversation, and I'm sorry. And I definitely want to know what everybody in the chat has to say, and especially you guys here.
Fine with that, because you and Netter have these insights that we don't have, and the fact that you have actually met the cast, you have been to these places, you have practically, I'm willing to bet, written a book on the series. I guarantee it.
I would like to.
But
speaking to that though.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because of that, and again, like I said, so, I think of Kimmy and Charlotte and Sherilyn before sometimes I think of I sometimes forget their character names. These people are real people to me because I met them as real people and not as their characters. But I will say this. One of the things I loved about most of the cast that I met, they cared about their characters the way we do. Charlotte Stewart, who I've talked about many times, who played Betty Briggs, said that she would talk with her, television family about, just mundane things that they imagined that their families did in the past, what their motivations were, their dreams for their son, and so on and so forth. And obviously that's part of motivation for your characters. And I specifically told Charlotte, I said, I really do feel that came through. Without knowing any of that, I got a lot of that, at least the feeling of all of those things. She said, good, because then, I accomplished what I was trying to. She says, and I appreciate the feedback, because we have no way to know that, unless we have this kind of communication with somebody. Seriously, having this conversation over dinner with her, I kid you not. It was the most wonderful thing. So I guess what I'm kind of sharing is that my fan interaction with these actors, very different from the fan interactions that I see with modern celebrities, that have this antagonistic relationship with fans,
Oh yeah.
It's incredible. It really is. And I'll tell you, that day that Netter kind of dragged me through a convention and said, come on, we can go meet Cheryl and Cheryl Lee. And I'm like, nah, there's no way. Sure enough, it was a part of the day where there wasn't anyone there, and they were talking to each other, and they were happy for the distraction. And Sherilyn remembered us from the Snoqualmie get together, and I was telling Cheryl Lee that I was like, yeah, the one time you were there, we weren't able to make it. She says, well, I'm glad I finally got to meet you. That was probably the sweetest thing she could have possibly said, So like I said, real, genuine people.
Yeah, it's like when we went to one of the cons, and I was talking to Jen Lynch, and she signed the secret diary because she wrote it.
Yep.
And it was funny because we were both wearing sneakers. She goes, I love your kicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was wearing high tops.
Cool.
But and yeah, that's the other thing too. Talking with Jennifer Lynch, because in a way, Jennifer Lynch played Laura too, in a way, by writing her actual secret diary, which very much was canonized by the second season of the show. She had all the insights, and she was like, yeah, and I was sworn to secrecy until the end of the series. And then, if you haven't read the book, well, spoilers then, but one of the things she did say was that there's a lot of truth in that book, from her own life and her own experiences, and a lot that's made up. And she wasn't going to say what was and wasn't real. But Laura describes a lot of the dreams that she had. And she said, some of those dreams are actual dreams that I had. What they mean, I don't know. What they mean in terms of, Dad's story, I don't know. That's for him and for Mark and for all of you to decide. I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But anyway, I did say I was going to shut up, and then I got started all over again.
Yeah. All right. And I, because I see it differently. I didn't have the experience of going to a convention or meeting these people, or even being on any of the message boards at the time. I didn't know a message board from hole to ground. You know,
Sure.
so so when I'm watching the show originally, I'm watching it through my then high school junior eyes, and now I'm
Yeah.
going back and watching this again 35 years later, as Enigma mentioned earlier in the chat. So yes, and still finding these little details, and thinking about them, especially now that I have seen season 3. That kind of made me completely, certainly recontextualize season 2, and the fact that David Lynch later said that Mulholland Drive was taking place in the same universe as Twin Peaks, and I'm sure I would say probably Inland Empire as well. But yeah, so it's like and this is what's good, and this is why Twin Peaks still works for me, is that all these years later, I'm still finding these little things that I didn't notice before, and I'm putting pieces together that I didn't before. And so, yeah. And yes, we do have a Sherlock episode coming up here very shortly. So, yes, we do have to start wrapping it up so we can get everybody over there.
Cool.
All right. So, are there any last thoughts, questions, anything before we do the outro?
I think you're all Osmo.
I'll have more questions next week. Okay, sorry.
If I find myself in possession of 4 cans of Garmin Boja, what do I do with it?
Oh, you got to get rid of that immediately. You can't have that in your house.
That's for sure.
All right. So we will go one time around the horn. Boomer, what do you have coming up?
Oh, I'll be on Last Call this Friday, and I will be on Geeky Geezers this Sunday. So be sure to check me out there.
Right on. Netter.
Let's see. Right after this, I will be co-hosting with Troy on Last Call on my channel for Sherlock Holmes. Thursday, I don't have a guest yet, but that can always change. If not, we'll just be shooting the breeze with all of you. Saturday, over on my channel, we will be watching Happy Feet. That's going to be fun. And then Sunday, Geeky Geezers, where I am the one, the only Gazette. Which brings us back around to next Tuesday, where we'll be right back here for more Twin Peaks.
Indeed. Troy.
Yep. Right after this, in fact, in just a minute, the Boscombe Valley Mystery, another mystery that involves a horse, by the way, and it's very common. I guess horses were as common as cars are today in Victorian England. But Friday. Boomer, have we decided what we're talking about on Friday?
I had an idea, but I guess we never talked about it, did we? But I'll
you know what? Join us Friday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. I'll be drinking. It'll be lots of fun. Let's do this thing, and then of course Liquid Lunch every noontime Central for 1 hour. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a WTF Wednesday. Something that Mark Maldikoff shared with me that really has me scratching my head. We'll talk about that. And that's what I got coming up.
All right. And as for myself, I am hoping to drop my Backrooms review. Hopefully tomorrow. I might have to push that back to Thursday, but I am planning to do it. Thursday at I believe, let me see very quickly. 5:30, I will be joining Outlaw Bill for Action Theater. And we are going to be watching a movie called Alamo Joe on Noah's Ark. Directed by a Steve somebody. It's supposed to be a classic movie from the 80s. That I don't know. Raiders of the Lost Ark is going to be the movie for this week. Let's see. Of course, later on that night at 11 o'clock will be coming attractions. We can find out what I am doing next week, up to and including my appearance this upcoming Friday on Films with Friends over on Big Al's channel. And starting at a special time, 7:30 Eastern. And this week's movie is Capricorn 1 from 1978, I believe. And let's see. I am going to be joining Bill again for Western Cinema Presents at 4:30 Sunday afternoon. And going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to watch the first 2 episodes of the Yellowstone spinoff 1883 with Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and Sam Elliott. So stay tuned for that. And of course, later that night, Unscripted at 8 p.m. Even later that night, 11 p.m., reserved seats, guests to be determined. And let's see. Brings us on back around the next week. We're going to be right back here, same bat time, same bat channel. And just to let you know, because Bill has already posted this, we've been talking about this in the background. The remaining Action Theater episodes for this month are going to be Big Trouble in Little China on the 18th, and the original Conan the Barbarian on the 25th.
Cool.
So yes, as Jamie Lynn says, lots of good stuff. Indeed. Yes. All right. All right. Netter, would you like to do your outro?
Well, y'all know what I always say. We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you drop in the comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever that may be. But you know what? I just love seeing you guys here. Whether you are dropping comments like constantly or just like one or two, you're here, and I love seeing that. You guys are so encouraging. Thank you for encouraging all of us on all of our channels. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button because, you know, the algorithms like to see that sort of thing. And if you can remember to, after the stream is over, just drop a one sentence comments, and that also helps the algorithms, because we're all trying to grow our channels, and every little bit helps. But thank y'all for being here. You guys are Osmo. Good night and God bless.
And as I always say at the end of every broadcast from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.